Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of Wedlocked and Loaded. I am Daniel Laurent,
And I am Leah Nicole.
and we have a very special show tonight. Hopefully, it's nighttime when you're listening, and you'll get why. Um, so there's before I introduce the guests, I want to just kind of frame something. It's my fault. I'll take ownership of it. There is a lot of assumptions that Leah and I are swingers, that we have an open relationship,
That we
and
have a dungeon. We have a
sex.
sex dungeon.
Yeah. So a lot of those things are assumed. It's because of comments that I make or humor that I have or whatever. But I'm genuinely fascinated. I'm intrigued. I'm almost obsessed with the idea and the lifestyle, the openness, and all the things. And we'll have a conversation and really get into it. But I wanted to frame that because although it's not necessarily Leah and I's lifestyle, it is a lifestyle that many live, right? And there's a lot of stigmas and shame and all that stuff that people like to put on other people's stuff. And so I wanted to have a genuine conversation and not have it be freak showish, right? But have a genuine conversation with people who are in a relationship. And so, with that being said, I wanted to welcome Bella and Prescott, and they are the host and the owners of the Flirty Swingers. So, welcome to Wedlocked and Loaded.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Hi guys,
Yeah.
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So let's get right to it, right to the good stuff.
All right,
Good, all right.
take it.
No, let's do a little courting and a little foreplay first. So let's if you can, I guess, explain how you two met, and were you both in the lifestyle, intrigued by, like, what brought you to this point where you are in front of us now?
So how'd you meet and how'd you get here?
Okay, all right.
Good.
So no, we were not in the lifestyle before we met, not even a little. In fact, yeah, we didn't think it was cool at all. Neither of us thought it was cool individually before we met, and after we met, we actually had some friends that joined the lifestyle, and we were like, "Oh, that's very interesting. Tell us all the details." And no, we're never going to do that. But we met because Prescott is in a band. This is our second marriage for both of us.
Oh, wow.
And I was on the cusp of getting a divorce when we met. And my best friend's husband used to be in Prescott's band. And
Wait.
Okay, her best friend's husband, keep up,
yeah.
used to be in the band with Prescott.
Okay, I made it more juicy in my brain than what you said.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
There's nothing juicy at all about that. Yeah, we were both married when we met, and we were met through a mutual friend, and we met through a mutual friend, and so you end up getting a divorce, and then I ended up getting a divorce.
Like a couple of years later.
Yeah, later, a few years later, and then we ended up another year later. You and I started a relationship.
Mhm.
So,
But
we.
I'm sorry. So
No.
you met prior to both of you getting a divorce?
Yes.
We met as I was getting a divorce.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then I think it was 2 or 3 years later, you ended up getting
Mhm.
divorced.
Correct.
And then a year after that, we got together.
Wow.
So that's our timeline.
But we've been together now for 17 years.
We've been married.
Oh,
17.
wow.
Yeah.
Wait.
18.
I
Oh,
wasn't.
wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I was expecting 2s and 3s and 4s.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Not double digits.
are you married or?
Oh, yeah.
We've been married for 17 and a half years. We've known each other for about 21 years.
22, probably.
20, yeah, somewhere.
All
Okay, we're digging a little bit deep
So I feel like shit.
because I'm very,
because
very nosy.
We've only been married.
No, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
How long was the first marriage? And I know for most people listening, they're like, who gives a fuck? We want to talk about the good stuff. But I'm very curious. How long was the first marriage?
My first marriage was 7 years long.
Wow.
Mine was I'm not even sure.
Oh,
I blocked it. No, I think I'm kidding. I think it's probably 6, 7, 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Around the same time I did? I don't even know.
I was like, 28. Yeah, probably around there. About 8 years, 7, 8 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So neither of us had ever been in a lifestyle. In our previous relationships, in our first 14 years of our marriage, we never were either.
But a couple of years into our marriage, one of his friends came to our house and talked to us about going to a lifestyle club. And it was very interesting hearing them describe it. And it was very much like we wanted all the details. We were very curious, but there was no way we were even thinking about doing it at that point. It was more like, wow, this happens. I can't believe this happens. And then we kind of forgot about it.
Yeah. I mean, that was quite a while ago. And it was interesting to hear and, picking their brain because we were curious but more like, not curious, like, oh, how would that work out for us? It wasn't even a thought in my head. I don't think for you either. We thought, oh, wow, that's crazy that what you said, this actually is a thing. Wow. It's not just in the movies.
But the way they described it too, they didn't have the greatest experience. They didn't have a lot of luck, and they were at a club that they didn't describe in a very pleasant way. So the things they were saying to us, we were just like, that sounds very entertaining, but absolutely not.
Yeah.
Right.
It did not sound awesome.
So let me ask you, if it did sound great, do you think like it would have piqued your interest then?
I don't know.
Back then. I don't know back then if it was something that we'd even would have considered.
So our relationship has been interesting. In the very beginning of our relationship, I would talk to Prescott a lot about my fantasies, about threesomes, and about having another woman join us. And I would like pick the hottest woman that I could think of in media and be like, what if this happened with me and her and you? Wouldn't that be hot? And so we would talk about that stuff. And I was like, let's actually do this. In my head, I'm thinking this would be really fun. And he thought I was just trying to be tantalizing and kind of teasing, like I would never actually want that. And then
I totally blew it.
Yeah. Early in our relationship.
Like I totally missed it. Complete idiot.
Then as we moved on, I started to feel more possessive of him, and I started to feel more insecure about those thoughts. And so I was tamping that down. I wasn't really talking to him about that because it didn't matter. We weren't even talking about the lifestyle, but I was feeling those things. I was jealous of interactions in our vanilla life. So my fantasies that I had of that, I kind of let taper off because I started to realize I think this might be an in my head fantasy and not I want to actually do this in real life kind of fantasy.
Yeah.
So we went through that phase for a long time, never actually speaking about it as a real potential in our relationship.
And that was the way I always thought it. I always thought it was just a fun fantasy that you had. I never imagined that back then, at least, again, I totally missed it, that it was even something that you would even, consider, or that you'd even into something like that. And it wasn't until, I guess 4 years ago when I brought that up, that I found out like how big of an idiot I actually am. But what happened was about 4 years ago, we were on vacation.
I knew it.
Let me know. Yes.
It's always vacation.
That's right. But I think I asked you the question. I was thinking to myself, how this came about was we know a lot of, Bella being a therapist and everything, we talk a lot about all this stuff. And so I was surprised that when you told me something that I didn't know about it. It was some past relationship or whatever. I was kind of surprised. And I started thinking, like, what else don't I know? Is there anything else I don't know?
So that conversation that he's talking about, we were on vacation in the hot tub talking with our young adult daughter. and she was talking about a dating situation that she was in. And I was like, I've had a similar experience. So I started talking about that dating situation, and he was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I've never heard this story. So he was excited because we both talk a lot. So he was like, I thought I knew everything there was to know. And this is a new thing.
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
Yeah, it was. And I started thinking about later after that, I started thinking, maybe there's something else. And I went back and I remembered you talking about those fantasies and everything early on in a relationship. And I started thinking that, I knew that you appreciated women. Right. I thought, okay, she appreciates women, beautiful women. Great. And I started thinking, hey, college, I wonder if she had like a little sexy phase
that I've been withholding from him.
A little encounter or something. Who knows? You never know. So I started thinking about that. And that's when I asked if you ever had, and you said no. And I said, if I remember this correctly, I think I just said, would you want to? And you were like, yes.
Are you serious? Really? Just like that?
I was like, yes. And let's do it. Like, don't tease me with this. Don't ask me questions. Don't let me do it.
And I was like, my head exploded. I'm like, what? Really? And then you started talking about it. And then I learned how much I totally missed it, back 15 years prior to that. But that's pretty much how it started, was your interest in women. That's when I found out that it was not just that you appreciated women, but really you're bisexual. And I all those years I didn't recognize that.
But I had never had an experience with another woman. I had always just fantasized about, I would fantasize about women and I would fantasize about men. I would it just depended on my mood in the moment, or I would fantasize about women and men.
Yeah.
But I was also we had and always have had, I feel like having a great sexual connection is really important to relationships, and we have always had that. So in the beginning, when he kind of dismissed the things that I was saying as just fantasies, I was okay with that. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. We were having some great sex. Not just some, we were having a lot of great sex. And so I did not feel like I was missing out, and I still wouldn't. If I never experienced another woman, I would not feel like a deprived person. I appreciated that you wanted me to be able to experience that. And I'm very, very fucking happy that I've gotten to experience that. I don't want to give it up now.
So, okay.
So that, go ahead.
So what you said, because I think, and there's kind of like a whole kind of question I have later on, but I want to have this be organic. So to the point of some people where they feel like you don't do that stuff until it's your last leg or when you're in trouble, and it's like a last ditch effort. So there are people who will, let's have a baby.
Oh yeah.
To try to, or let's open this up so we can. So what you just said was, it was actually great, and it was at the mountaintop, and this was another exploration.
Yeah. So we both, neither of us, we were both married to good people that didn't work with us. And we were both pretty resistant to getting into another relationship. I'll speak for myself. My viewpoint was, when I got divorced, if there's not physical fireworks, I'm not doing it, because I don't need all that. That was not fun. I did not like that. No, thank you. And he and I were friends for several years before I got divorced, or for about a year before I got divorced, and then for several years afterward. And everyone called us two peas in a pod, all of our friends. And we were. But when he first asked me about dating after he got divorced, I was hesitant, because you're pretty conflict avoidant. And I didn't want conflict avoidant. I wanted to be able to go straight at it and resolve conflicts and be on the level. But you've modified things a lot. Literally, like almost immediately, you were like on the level, which was nice.
That's right.
which I appreciated. So we ended up in a relationship and dating, and I don't remember what started this.
I think you were saying that basically you had mentioned about in the mountaintop. That's one of the things that I think a lot of times that people have the wrong idea about swingers. There are several types of people that get in it. People will get in it, like you said, kind of to fill a hole, right? That they're looking.
Unintended.
I'm sorry.
Pun intended.
Boom. That was good. That was good. That was very good. So 1 or 2, you never know. 3.
Yeah.
So and some of the people you can tell when you meet a couple that's kind of that's the dynamic that's happening, where they're looking for something to fill the void, some kind of hole that's missing in the relationship. A lot of people that do it, it's something like, for us, it's similar, where it's just kind of it's an added bonus. It's nothing. We're not looking to fix us. We're not looking to fill a void. It's kind of like if it's fun, and if we can add it to our sexual relationship and everything else, great.
But we
don't need it. But we don't need it.
But we were scared in the beginning that it would, because we had both been through relationships that weren't the strongest. We were both like, this sounds exciting. And of course, we booked our first Bliss cruise immediately. But then we started thinking, is this going to screw up our relationship? Like, are we expecting the best of all worlds, and then we're going to crumble as a result of it?
Yeah.
I particular was very terrified.
The good thing
about that.
And that we didn't mention is, once we figured out that that this was what's happening, like that Bella is bisexual, and I had thought about it and imagined it, and I thought, you know what, then you should be with a woman. I can never do that, and you only live once, and you should be able to experience that in your life. That's the way I felt about it, and I said that you can, be with a woman. I'm not going to have a problem with it. I did some soul searching, and I was kind of surprised, honestly, that it didn't seem to bother me, the idea of it at all. But that's when you said, great, I would love to do that, but I'd like you to be there too. That's when I was
because I don't have any desire to be with someone apart from him. Yeah. I'm not looking to have a side relationship with a girl. I like the idea of sharing what we have with someone else, or someone else joining what we already have. Yeah. So I was like, ew, yeah. I'm like, I don't really want to be with just a girl.
But it's surprising how, as you can imagine, I was like, what, really? Like,
bonus.
Yeah, I was actually a little worried about it.
Not yet, though. Not yet, because the bonus was more like,
yeah,
you can watch, but I don't actually love the idea. In my fantasies, I loved the idea of him being.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I was like, well, why are you going to be looking at her so much? Don't you just want to? Like, I was like, I had some issues with my own jealousy to deal with. I'm like, I'm attracted to pretty girls, and so I'm going to be with a pretty girl, and then he's probably going to want her more than he wants me.
So there was some insecurity.
But that is when we talked about, because at first I was a little worried about it. I wasn't like, woohoo, this is happening. At first I was kind of I wasn't sure about it because of the risks, like what we're getting to, which was that we have this great relationship, besides just the sex, and we've got a great relationship, and we don't want to mess it up.
Right.
There's a lot of potential pitfalls and a lot of risk potentially.
Pandora's box.
Yeah.
So I was a little worried about it, but what I was starting to say was that when we discovered this, the timing of it was literally right before COVID hit. And so we had a year and a half where we said, let's do this, right? We figured it out, and Bella booked this cruise, this swingers cruise and everything. And we're like, wow, we're going to like dive in the deep end fast with 6,000 people. But then it got delayed because of COVID. It got canceled. And we had about a year of doing nothing but talking about this stuff.
Okay.
Really, I mean, there's a song,
masturbating a ton and having a ton of sex,
but
because we were constantly just stimulating ourselves.
But also, I mean, doing the fun stuff. But also, there's a song by Peter Gabriel called "Digging in the Dirt," and I use that term because that's what we did. I mean, we're really, started digging in there and uncovering stuff. Even though we spoke to each other a lot about about fears and whatever prior to it. there was still stuff that we avoided, little landmines, right? Where
Right.
we avoided talking about
Mhm.
stuff because you didn't want to upset the other person, of course.
Yeah.
And we needed to really dig in and uncover those things. And we did. So we had a year, which was, I think it for us worked out really well.
It helped.
Right. So
So
you had some time to create a safe space
Yeah.
in this new space.
Right.
Oddly enough, we had someone write in about a similar situation, and um and she's looking for some advice. Um, so it says, you know, um, it's kind of lengthy. It's what is the point in keeping screenshots and screen recordings of internet chicks in your phone? My husband has loads of porn clips and still shots of women in his phone. Last night he was watching our porn in his phone. As he's scrolling in his album, I'm seeing so many other women. I said nonchalantly, "Are those your faves from webcam sites you visit?" He paused for a second and said, "Yeah, and other websites. It's just good stuff, that's all." I didn't let it stop me from giving him head, but it just never sat right with me. We do a lot of fun sexual stuff together. I'm bi. We swing and visit glory holes. But for whatever reason, he must keep a slew of internet chicks saved to his phone. So I'm just curious and looking for someone to give me some advice and some insight here. I asked him before about it and he just said it's porn and he's not going to stop no matter what how I feel because it's foolish and insecure of me to feel or think the way that I do.
Well, I mean, that's fully loaded. I mean, I think, yeah, the last line is problematic for me.
Oh, really?
Leah, knock it off. We're not doing. Take a drink.
I will.
I agreed that the last line was
Yeah.
kind of triggering.
Yeah, I agree.
I also think that my mindset on that has shifted some, but not entirely. So we exchange videos with different people that we've been with. But I think I would feel insecure if there were someone beautiful that we were with and you were obsessing over those videos and you needed to have them saved on your phone. I think that would bother me. It would take away from the playfulness of it and it would seem more serious. That's just my off-the-cuff response.
Did I miss that? Were those people they had been with, or these were just internet people?
I think they were just internet people.
Just
internet
people.
Okay, because
Yeah.
So they don't know.
swingers.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't have any relationship with them. They never.
She didn't say that it was.
But
It could be, but
there
she didn't
seems
say.
like there's some trust issues, so it could very well be people that he's been with that he's saving videos.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's too personal for me. That would feel uncomfortable. And also just even in the lifestyle for us, I feel like we mostly feel comfortable with the tenets of monogamy. Mostly. And we like to have sex with other people. So like all the other things, he's the most important person to me and I want to be the most important person to him. And if I feel like anything is infringing on that, adios. You're out. I don't need that anymore because it's no longer fun to me. Mm-hmm. So like porn.
When you say adios, you're not saying adios to me.
Not to you,
yeah.
but to the other people.
I want to clarify that. I knew what you were saying. I just want to make sure everybody else knew.
Yeah.
Right. But when it comes to porn, I feel like if you had asked me this 5 years ago, I would have had a different opinion. Sure, but right now I feel like porn is porn, and if you don't know them, it's just a body. It's something. I think about it the way that I look at porn. I have no affinity for any porn that I look at. Any person that I look at on porn, if I look at them a lot, it's because I like their body. It's not because I like them as a person. I
Yeah.
enjoy looking at them.
Yeah.
So porn itself doesn't bother me the way it used to 5 years ago. But if it's porn with someone we know,
that's totally different.
and I feel like he is
Wait, so
falling
you
for
guys
that
know porn
person.
stars?
What's that?
You know porn stars?
Oh, no. Well, yeah.
Well, you met.
Yeah, I guess.
No, but we
I guess
haven't been with
that's
any.
just from. So we've gone to Exotica and we've been invited to do things with porn stars, which we've said no. Thank you, but no.
Yeah.
But in general, like just swingers record a lot of stuff. They like to watch it back. It's fun. We've recorded a lot of stuff with our friends that we watch back, and then you archive it on your phone and you don't share it with anyone else. It's just for you. At least that's what we're trusting people are doing. That's what we say. That's what we say that we feel comfortable with. That stuff, I'm comfortable with watching that again. I've watched it again. You've watched it again. But if he were getting obsessive about somebody we had been with, I would start to feel insecure about that.
And I would, same thing. If there were somebody.
Because it starts to connect. It starts to make it.
It's an unhealthy attachment.
Yeah. I mean, looking at porn, it's kind of funny when you were talking about it, when you're reading it, and you were talking about how this person kind of put together. He's got a bunch of his favorites, right? These are his favorites he's got on his phone. It reminded me of, remember the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin? Where he's looking through the videos, and one was like boner jams or something, where it's like it's an amalgam of all of his favorite like sex scenes and different porn and whatever, which was hilarious. But that's kind of what that is, right? That's his boner jams. It sounds like on his
compilation.
Phone. His compilation.
His compilation. I love it.
Of his favorite stuff that gets him there, whatever that is. So, but there's a distance. If it's just these nameless, faceless,
it's a tool.
It's titillating and all that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem with it. I think, but we haven't gotten to that last line though either.
I think it's the last line. Like, I think that if you are in a relationship, if you are married specifically, and I think, if your significant other tells you, hey, or expresses that they have some issues or are looking for some explanation as to why this is something that is happening, I think it's very important for you to hear them out and to actually respect what they are saying and try to curb the behavior to make them feel. I probably should have laid off the tequila. Try to make them feel, more comfortable, especially since they are doing all the things. And by all the things, I mean, if we are having a great time together and you are not complaining about how we spend our time together alone and what we do in the bedroom and all the fun things that we do outside of the bedroom, if we don't have a typical relationship, and that I am open, right? Not me, because this is not me, I promise, but I'm open to the things, right? And this world and this lifestyle. What more it's like, what more are you looking for? Right?
Yeah.
And can I give that to you? That would be the question that I would have.
And we have that agreement with each other because we knew that this could bring up conflict. And we knew that we did not want that conflict to destroy our relationship. So we have said from the beginning, extreme honesty. Even if it's going to make me feel really uncomfortable, because I would rather have you say, I find this person really attractive, they're capturing my attention, than say 6 months from now, I'm in love with this person. So tell me that they're capturing your attention so I can say, bye, we're never going to see you again, we're done. When there's still time to do it. So we have this whole thing of, if you need to talk, I'm here to listen, even if I don't like it. Even if I don't agree, I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to try to empathize with the feeling, not necessarily the thought. I might not relate to the thought, but I'm going to empathize with how you feel, because I know how bad it feels to feel like someone might steal your relationship from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that line, if I remember correctly, it sounds like he put that all on her, right?
Right.
She
Let
had
me go back to it. Hold on.
what you said is you had feelings, and she was expressing some feelings, and
Yes.
and what you said, it doesn't matter. You don't have to completely understand
No.
what's going on, but just understand that there's an emotion there that needs to be
Right.
discussed. And he wasn't. It sounded like he wasn't willing to discuss it. That was.
It was just
It's
that's
foolish
what
and
it is.
insecure for her to feel the way she's feeling.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
good,
going to
isn't it?
stop because it's foolish and insecure of you to feel the way that
Yeah.
you're feeling.
I think to call someone's feelings foolish, I
Yeah.
think that you know, you're definitely not going to have a fun night that night.
No, you're not.
No.
And also, if it is an insecure feeling, why are you saying it like that?
Right.
If you know that your partner, who you love more than anyone on this planet,
Well, hopefully.
is
Well-
insecure, why are you
I hope-
going to throw that back in their face?
Yeah, it's a kind of a hurtful statement. Yeah,
It is. It's-
Very
So-
hurtful.
I had a question. So I'm jumping
Yeah,
around.
we're going to get away from that.
Well, I'm jumping around because you said something that I had something later on, and so for the sake of just being in the moment, so you said cruise, right?
Yeah.
Because I had on here swinging cruise. I had swinging cruises versus hotel takeovers, which is your preference. And so, seeing that you said that, yeah,
I don't know if we have, our favorite thing that we've done so far has been the cruise. We've also enjoyed hotel takeovers.
Yeah. They're pretty. You know, it's funny. A lot of the same. Well, first, the cruises. You have to like cruises in general, right? And,
Yeah.
and we had done vanilla cruises. We'd like before, and we enjoyed them. So we liked the idea of being on a cruise and the entertainment and all that kind of stuff. You know, and me gorging myself at midnight and food and
every time he goes by the
else,
ice cream machine,
Yeah,
getting
I
some
mean,
ice
I'm a
cream.
total.
you gotta do it. You have to do it.
You have to. It is
What is your
amazing.
sign, Preston?
Yeah.
What is my sign?
Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio.
Prescott, sorry.
It's okay. I'm a Scorpio.
Scorpio. When's your birthday? October or November?
October. End of October.
Okay.
End of October.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What's it with Scorpios?
Just curious. Anyway.
She's a Libra. I think or are you trying to see if he's
Oh,
on
yeah,
your team?
but-
Surprise.
Since
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what that is.
Sagittarius.
Are you December? Sag.
I'm November.
November. Okay.
November. Okay. What? So you interrupted?
Oh.
Wait.
All right. I'm curious. We need to have more
Wow.
conversations.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe. I'm
No.
so sorry.
Now I'm curious.
It's just fun. I just want to know
What is your brain thinking about?
all the things. But go ahead. I'm
You
going to
know
finish
the
writing my
Enneagram?
question down.
Leah, do you
Huh?
know the Enneagram?
No.
Okay. I was really chat. We could connect. If you know astrology and the Enneagram, we're down.
So yeah. So as far
I
as
want to, but
as
I
far as the cruises, well, yes, and I have something to say after you say this. So go on.
I was just going to say that there's similar activities. There's dancing, there's food, there's fun, there's all that kind of stuff at the hotel takeovers and everything. And the cruise is different in a way, but you're still having a lot of fun. I mean, you have to like I said, you got to like cruises first to even want to go on one of those cruises. But then you're going to be. It's a difference being with 500 people versus 6,000 people. Also,
It's a
Being
difference,
able to
yeah.
find people that you match with. And I will say this also. People think about swingers as all these DTF people. They're ready to go right when you get there. Everyone's just stripping down. Our last cruise, 7 nights, we didn't have sex with anyone but ourselves.
Yeah.
And we saw a lot of sexy stuff. It was really great foreplay. We flirted with people. We were touchy-feely with people. We made out with people, but we didn't go to a playroom with anyone except each other. We met people on the cruise that did not come there to be with anyone else. They came there to be the candy for people ahead of time. They just wanted to be the flirt flavor for the night, and they had a great time. So when you think about the swinging world, it's not all about P&B penetration. A lot of it is about flirting.
penis and vagina. I see the look on your face. P and V.
I was like P and B. What is P and B?
Yeah. Yeah,
That
it's
peanut
not
butter.
all about that. It's definitely not about that so much for me. My desire type is not very cooperative with the lifestyle. I have much more responsive desire than spontaneous desire. So if both people are very spontaneous with their desire, you're probably going to have a great time. You're going to be getting down all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more responsive. I need some stimuli. I need to have some sort of intimacy, some sort of connection. So it's going to take me a lot longer to warm up to someone. That doesn't mean I'm not having a blast being touchy-feely and flirty and holding hands and kissing. All those things are a lot of fun, and there's no penetration at all. In fact, some of our favorite nights are that way. Not to say that we don't ever do the other stuff.
I was going to say, we have done, kind of the, we have done the other way. We've done with people we just met, that kind of thing. We have done that a few times, but on the cruise, one of the things
but that always surprises us.
Is always a surprise. Yeah. The one thing about the cruise is there are, like you said, there are people there. And that's another misconception about people in the lifestyle, that they're always they're not discriminating. They'll have sex. All they do is they get together and they just have sex.
Primal animals.
Yeah, it's all, and some of that is true. But there's a lot of people like on the cruise, like you said, there are some people that go there just to kind of get, because it's got such a nice open and sexy and accepting,
non-judgmental.
The whole vibe there is that way. And some people go there just for the vibe, and they love that. We go there for being open to whatever. And like I said, the last time we weren't with anybody that time.
So we've been on 3 Bliss cruises. This year will be our 4th. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. The first Bliss cruise we went on, we walked through the playroom, which was magnificent. It was like there were multiple hot tubs. There are all these beds with canopies. There's there's a balcony that you can look over. There were hot people doing hot things on those beds. It was really, really fun to see. But so when you go in these playrooms, this is actually a good thing for me, because if it weren't this way, I don't think I would ever play. But when you go in the playroom, you have to be naked except for a towel. You can't bring anything in, no camera, nothing, just a towel. So you're ready to go. If you choose to say yes and someone proposes, you're ready to go. So we're walking through with towels on our first night on our first Bliss cruise. And I was the one that was like, yes, we're going on a cruise. We walked through the playroom. I was having a mini heart attack. I was sweating. I was like, this looks like Animal Kingdom. This is not fun. I do not like this. I'm like, we're going to be here for 7 nights. And I chose this and I don't like it. I was freaking out a little bit because we knew no one. We're just walking through, seeing a bunch of strangers and very passionately doing their thing. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, the environment itself, like you said, was beautiful. And you're on the ocean and it's dark and it was really great.
It's very romantic. Heated pools in between. It was very,
it was very nice. But like you said, I remember telling you at the end, like, I feel like this is a Discovery Channel. Yeah. I'm like, I was not getting the sexy vibe at all.
And you're more spontaneous desire than me, so we were both like, oh.
Like I walked through, and then walking through, I mean, it like shocked my brain, thinking that would be ever the case, where I didn't feel that. I thought we'd see this, and be like, oh my gosh, this is so sexy and everything else. But at the first night, we were kind of stunned by the whole thing, and it was a little overload for us, I think. So.
So really quick. Okay, go ahead.
So would you say, with that being said, would you say that the hotel is more of a good way of dipping your toe because you're not kind of trapped, and the cruise is more for the hardcore?
Maybe, but that was our first night, and we were better. We were better after that. We had one of our favorite experiences on that cruise. But I would say if you're trying to dip your toes, I don't think I would dip my toe on a 7-night cruise.
Yeah, that's not dipping. Yeah, you are fully immersed. You're diving, and without you're like trying to tread water at first. Possibly. It depends on some people. Would be different, I'm sure. But if you're not sure, there's nothing wrong with going to, there are, if you're around a city, there's most cities in the United States. I mean, a lot of them have some kind of club or something you can go to. You can try that out. There's like the hotel takeovers you're talking about, if you can find them. There's a lot of different, if you plug into the quote unquote lifestyle, the subculture that it is.
It's the underworld.
Yeah, you'll find this stuff, and you can see if it's something that you're even that interested in. Because it may be one of those things where the fantasy of it is way better than the reality.
Thought of it is more.
And then once you see it, you're like, yeah, this isn't my jam.
Yeah.
So would you go on a?
Speaking of the cruise, time out. Wait, let me just get this off. Speaking of the cruise,
get off.
Let me get. All right. Have you had an experience? Because just being on a cruise, like, so do they dock and do things like a regular cruise?
Yeah, totally the same.
Same type of.
They have excursions. They have some nude excursions that you can go on.
Cool. Either way, you're still like kind of stuck with these. So are you referring to this cruise? What do you call it?
Bliss.
The Bliss cruise as 6,000 passengers or 500 passengers?
6,000.
Oh yeah,
500 like a hotel.
I see.
Yeah.
I guess regular cruises.
You make some new best friends on every cruise. We've literally made some new best friends on every cruise because everything is so intimate. All the conversations that you have, a lot of people are very vulnerable on these cruises.
Yeah. I mean, how could you not be?
You literally walk away feeling like you just gained some super close friends.
People's boundaries are open, and again, people aren't afraid of being judged so much because it's so non-judgmental. One of the things,
there's a good realm of vulnerability there.
Yeah, there's vulnerability way more than normal. It's funny what I noticed is, and Daniel, you may recognize this. Whenever the difference on a Bliss cruise or the difference at a lifestyle event or something is when guys go to the washroom, right? Like when we go to the bathroom, if it's at a club or normal vanilla thing or whatever, guys don't talk to each other. They don't look at each other. You keep your eyes up, you're, hey dude, if you're all waiting in line, it's like an elevator. You're all just kind of staring off, looking, not making eye contact. The funny thing about the lifestyle events is I noticed that when I go into the bathroom and, there'll be a lot of times there'll be a lot of guys in there. And everyone's laughing, everyone's talking. People are telling stories. People are just kind of just yucking it up and, talking about, because a lot of times you have like outfits on, costumes on, depending if they have themes and everything. And people are talking about it. It's funny how much eye contact, how friendly all the guys are, because they're kind of, the walls are down a little bit. The guard is down. Everybody's there. Everyone's cool. And people will be like, oh, dude, I saw you out there with your wife. Your wife's beautiful. And people are super respectful, and they'll start talking. And it's funny to see guys walking out of the bathroom talking, because the girls, I mean, they'll be in there for 20 minutes.
They do it. Yeah. 20 minutes. I mean, that's an understatement.
Yeah, they're all yucking it up. You could hear them
every time.
You could hear them laughing in the bathroom, and while the guys are all waiting out there. But I mean, the guys actually walk out of the bathroom and they're talking to each other,
doing the same thing.
It's totally different, and that kind of, to me, that says a lot about the difference between being with lifestyle people, lifestyle event versus vanilla.
Mm-hmm. So back to my question. Sorry, I got everybody off topic, but back to my question. So being on the cruise, and granted you can get off for excursions, right? But you're kind of stuck. So have you guys ever had an experience where you had an experience with someone and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck was that? And I never ever want to see these people ever again. And then you just constantly run into them?
Not to that extreme, but there's been times where
not on a cruise.
Not on a cruise.
But we have had that experience.
Yeah, we've had the experience at I think some takeovers. But usually they're big enough, and it isn't so much that we've never had. How about this? We've never had an experience where we'd be like, I don't want to see them ever again. It's
it's just not your thing.
It's just I think all of us know or people who have been doing this for a little while, I think they go into it always open-minded and knowing also that, hey, this may just not be a good fit.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's not like you've been dating for a while. You
Yeah.
may have met these people a couple times and had drinks together and that's it. Or on a takeover, maybe you just met them the night before. And so I think people are pretty forgiving if it just doesn't work out. And it's not like I have anything personal against them, and nobody seems to,
I don't know that everyone feels
Not
that way,
everybody.
but you should feel that way if you're in the lifestyle, because rejection is literally one of the biggest pieces of the lifestyle.
Yeah.
In the lifestyle, it is widely accepted to just ghost people that you are no longer attracted to, or if you just aren't attracted to them in the first place, which that's not our vibe. I feel like it's disrespectful, but that is widely accepted in the lifestyle. And while we haven't had that extreme of an experience on the cruise, we have been with people that have misrepresented their play style. So like we're pretty explicit about what we're into and what we're not into, because I want to have a good time, and I can have a great time flirting with you. We could flirt our faces off all night and I'm going to go home happy. I don't need to go to the bedroom with you. If I'm going to go to the bedroom with you, I want to know we're looking for the same thing, because I don't want to leave anyone disappointed.
And we go together to the bedroom. Yeah, we're
always together.
That's people have different vibes, and people will talk about it up front usually and talk about what their style is. Our style is same bed.
Same pile, same bed. I want to be able to touch him.
Yeah, we don't separate, nothing like that. We never do.
And I had that question.
Yeah, no judgment.
Same style. Explain.
So some people will, let's just say it's like 4 or 6 people in a hotel room, and they'll separate to the bed, the couch, the other bed, and they'll swap, which is what a lot of people think of swingers as. You have 2 couples and you swap partners. I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to just have another couple and get with a husband and then parallel play with me with the husband and him with the wife. That's not what we're about. I'm mostly about the girls.
Male, female, female.
I just want to be able to, for me, and luckily Prescott likes the same thing. I want to be able to play with the girl, but I want to be able to play with my husband at the same time. And I want her to be able to play with her husband at the same time. And I want it to all intermingle. And if I get along with the guy too, great. I'll play with him too. That's great. But I don't want to have to. If I'm not digging the guy, I don't want to have to touch the guy at all. And so that actually is how we started. We started with just me being with girls.
Mm-hmm. That was it.
Prescott was with me, and the other guys would be with their girl. And that was great.
It was great.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple couples that we vibed with. I vibed with the guy too. And I was like, I could do that. That would be fun. And it's actually really fun when you intermingle all of it. But I will say, I know you guys aren't even thinking about this, but to anyone who's listening, if you are thinking about it, baby steps are essential. The fact that we started out with me just being with girls, and we started out with no kissing, because I was like, I don't want to see you kiss someone else, which is so messed up that I would be like, I want to do a double blowjob with another girl on you, but I also don't want you to kiss her. Yeah. But it felt more intimate to me.
Yeah. I get it.
I don't. I'm more of a, I have had relationships or friendships where I have kissed a person and never had sex with them, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess I get the kissing. I don't say that the kissing is more intimate.
So intimate.
I've always heard that, but I'm such a kisser where it's like it's like you give me a piece of cake, but you take all the frosting off.
Yeah.
So what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Right. So, so I wanted to.
Sorry.
You heard what she just said?
No,
I missed it.
She said, "Eat it."
There you go.
Yeah. See, her drink's almost gone.
I like the way you think.
So I wanted to say,
we didn't in the beginning, and we've totally evolved, and that's kind of the thing with, I think, a healthy entry to swinging starts super closed. and then slowly, gradually opens the door as both people feel comfortable, and you go at the pace of the least comfortable person. So whoever isn't ready to move forward, that's the pace you're going at, and you're waiting patiently and you're not pushing to get
That's
there.
important. So I want to say, because you both said it in your own way, but it was very there was a lot of continuity, and this is what I've said to Leah in the past. So with my fascination um of seeking out places or finding places and whatever, and there was a time in Texas where I just was like, oh, we're gonna go somewhere, and then we went, and she's like, what the fuck is this?
You didn't tell her where you were going at first?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, which time?
Oh, wait, no, don't do that. Are you talking about the parlor?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is it. So we've shared this before, right? So have you ever seen Coming to America before, ever?
Yeah. Sure. Oh yeah.
Sure.
All right, so your royal penis is clean, right?
Yeah.
So I always was like, oh my God, I would love that, right? I'm no prince, I'm no king, but I would love that. So when we went to Texas for a wedding, I looked up like adult activities. And so there was this place, it was a massage parlor. But one of the things that they did was they actually gave you like a sponge bath. So I was like, holy shit, right? So I found this place, and we landed. I don't know the day. Say we landed Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Like by 1 o'clock, I was like, there, right? And I remember Leah was there. She was in the passenger seat, and I went inside. I made my appointment, and I
How did
asked
you
her,
feel
like,
about it, Leah?
No, he's like, oh, do you want to get a massage?
because for me, it's a massage parlor, and it's just, this is an extra. Now, I did see online also, when you go to some of the, it wasn't a Yelp, but it was a Yelp for the underground stuff.
Yeah.
And it was, if you say such and such, they can give you a happy ending. And I was like, I'm not really interested in that, but I want the bath. So I asked her if she wanted a massage. She's like, no. And I guess while she was in the car, so I'll stop here and you can say what you saw.
So I'm like, no, whatever. So he goes in or whatever. So
to make the appointment.
He goes in, and somebody comes out. A guy comes out, and like he sees me in the car, and immediately he puts his head down. He starts speed walking to his car, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And of course, like I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So this is what we're doing
up here.
Okay.
And so I come back,
and I'm like, take me to the mall.
Yeah, so I took her to the mall. And when I tell you, I don't know what the speed limit was, but if I was doing 90, I dropped her off, pushed her out of the car.
Okay, don't do that.
And sped back.
I really believe me.
I mean, not a literal push, but it was like a little, all right, babe.
Bye.
Right. So I get back, ripping my clothes off as soon as I walk in the door, kicking my shoes off. I'm ready to go. I sit down in this big tin thing.
Steel tub.
And they have the sponges, the big like yellow sponge.
The ones you wash your car with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's scrubbing me down.
I don't need that on my skin.
And I'm like,
that sounds a little aggressive.
Yes. I'm sitting there the whole time. I'm like, this sucks. And so they're scrubbing me down. And so they finish in maybe like 5 minutes. And I'm so I can't articulate how disappointed I was and how sad I was, right? It's like going to the best ice cream place, and you get there and it's like, oh, we're closed.
Broccoli. They give you broccoli.
Anyway, I'm like, oh, so what's next? And so they're like, oh, go in the room. And so I'm like, oh, massage. And she's like, we don't do those here. And I'm like, what do you mean? And so I'm looking around. I'm looking like at the ceiling because I immediately think of like To Catch a Predator, right? And I'm like, well, what do you do? And she was like, well, what do you want? And I couldn't think of anything else, but I was like, and she was like, $40.
How much?
And so what I realized was they were basically just cleaning me before. Yeah. And so I was like, I'll just take the bath. How much was that? And she was like, oh, just go back and go to the front. Cause I think I paid like $60 or something. So I go back to the front and they'll give you your money back. And I was so I think they gave me like $30. It was half, right? Because no one really goes there just to get a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the dodo. So then I'm bullshit. I'm calling all my male friends and I want to tell them, and no one's answering. I'm getting everyone's voicemail. I get to the mall and I'm bullshit and I'm so sad. And so I'm telling her in my mind, and the guys in my mind, I'm like, babe, I went there to get a bath and they were looking to give me a blowjob and that's not what I wanted. And I'm so mad. And she's like, wait a minute. Wait, you were I missed.
Yeah.
Also, uppercut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, how were you feeling when you were at the mall? Were you like,
I
give
mean,
me
I
a
was
credit
looking
card?
for like all the most expensive things that I could buy. Okay.
Maxing out those cards.
But then when he came and he told me the story, so now I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So like you offered me a massage knowing that you wasn't getting a massage, like knowing that you didn't go there for the massage. Okay. And so for me, I'm like, okay, so we go back to the hotel. He's driving. I'm looking up strip clubs near me. Like, oh, you want to see some pussy? Okay, we're gonna go see some pussy, right? So now, oh, sorry. Let me push the tequila away.
Drink up.
We don't mind. I don't know about you two. Wherever.
But anyway, so I look up the strip club or whatever, and I find a strip club. And I don't tell him, like, I'm like, I'm like, get dressed, we're going out. Now I'm driving, we go to the club. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, whatever, shut up. I go get the change, I go get the singles. We get a table, I give him a stack of singles, and I'm like, have fun. He's sitting there looking all shy and stupid, and I'm like, okay, so this is what we're gonna do? Whatever. So I see him like googly eyeing one of the strippers. So
she was beautiful. Like unbelievably beautiful. Like okay.
You might have been slightly horny from your disappointing experience. She may not have been as beautiful as you think she was.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, I go up, I see her leave the stage. I go up, I give her a couple of singles or whatever, and then I sit down and I see her leave the stage. So I meet her in the bathroom.
See? The bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And I summoned her to our table to give him a dance.
You're so much more generous than I would have been in that situation.
Oh, I don't, I think it's more of the asshole in me, not the nice person in me.
It's your way of taking control.
I see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I see that.
And oddly enough, her name was Leah.
Really?
That's crazy.
So,
oh my gosh.
So,
but we left her there.
Yeah, we left her there. So the other thing in Texas, so this was, I took longer telling that story, but there was a club, and I was like, oh, let's go to this club. She was like, oh, all right. I knew that it was a lifestyle club. She didn't so much know. And she was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I think, did I say something like, well, if you don't go, I'm going anyway?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say that today. I know. That's awful. I wouldn't say that today.
Your wife is a saint.
I know. Abort.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we
I
went.
See ya. You can go, and I won't be here when you get back.
So we walked in, and I think we went into a room. And there were what are the things you mentioned them earlier? Canopy. So they were like canopy beds or whatever, and people were kissing and stuff. And she's looking around like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It's
we were just,
you didn't know what you brought.
We were just peeking. Yeah. And it was cool. It was BYOB, but of course we didn't bring anything to drink because he didn't do all his proper research.
I didn't look up that part on the page.
Something to drink. That situation.
So yeah, but so that was a situation, and so in recent times, I've told Leah, for me, and you all both mentioned this, and this is why I bring it up. For me, again, people think when they think of swingers or lifestyle clubs, they think of just like when you walk in, you're licking faces and having
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah,
Just
It's free for all.
there's
Yeah.
saliva and semen all over the place.
yeah.
For me, it's not. It's more the vibe of it,
Mhm.
right? So I told her I think it's equivalent for me of what a typical guy would like to go to a strip club.
Yeah.
I'm not big into strip clubs, but for me, I think the energy there and just meeting different people and talking to couples, and I've talked to a couple that literally, the guy would say, "Oh, I'm only here for," well, so the woman went to the bathroom, and the guy would say, "Yeah, I'm only here for her because this is her thing."
Mhm.
The guy goes to the bathroom, and the woman says, "Yeah, I'm here for him because it's," just to hear both, like, I'm like, okay, so they have some communication issues,
Yeah.
right? So that's fascinating to me.
That's
So,
that's problematic.
but
It is.
regardless, but then you see that, then you see there's like a woman that is 590 pounds
Mm-hmm.
walking around in her birthday suit in all her glory.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Holy shit,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so all of that to me, and I don't need to touch, I don't need to hug anything. It's just like I love, so to the bathroom point, I've never been in like multiple stalls. It's usually like what I've seen is more like it's like a house or like a bathroom, like a one bathroom. But
Mhm.
again, it is more like, hey, how are if you go to a bar tonight, there's no speaking. The guys are like, "Oh, fuck out of here." It's all machismo. And what I equated to when I would talk to Leah, and I told her, I'm not big into going to a gay bar, but I know for sure that some of my female friends love going to gay bars
Mm-hmm.
because of, I think, one, the energy, two, they don't have to worry about being hit on by, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I love that you said that because I think that there is a misconception of people just feel like it's just all over the place when you walk in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not the case. So
You make
um
a great point. That's a big deal. I think um, when people are interviewed, people in the lifestyle, it's I think you tell me you know more than I do about this, but I think overwhelmingly the women talk about how they feel more safe at a lifestyle event than they do at a normal bar because there are certain boundaries. There are definitely rules that everybody should adhere to as far as
yeah,
following those boundaries.
And
not
women run
breaking.
the lifestyle.
And women are in
in
charge. Yeah, and if the places we've been, like if
Mhm.
a woman does not feel comfortable, if the guy is overstepping, if he's being aggressive, if she said no nicely and he has continued, you tell one of those guys and that guy's gone. They do not mess around.
That
Yeah.
They do not because
you're escorted out.
yeah, because people if the women don't feel comfortable, that place is going to crash. The word
Yeah.
and that's it. So
yeah,
like it's very different than a bar, a normal vanilla bar. And women have said that they feel strangely more comfortable at a lifestyle event
That makes sense.
because of
I
that,
get
because of the boundaries.
And there's another thing. I had a conversation with some close lifestyle friends of ours recently because we don't play very frequently. We're very, very selective. Almost everyone that we know plays more frequently than we do. We're
really,
known for saying no. We do play, and we've had, like, if I start talking about our experiences, you're going to be like, "Hey, you hoe, what are you talking about?"
Yeah,
We do play, but we don't play very often compared to other people.
Yeah.
And some of our friends were like, there needs to be a term for like a social swinger.
Mhm.
And I think that would be us. We love the flirt game. We love the touchy-feely stuff. And it is a bonus for me if I actually desire you. I never go into any situation thinking I'm actually going to desire the couple, and I refuse to force it. I'm not going to fake an orgasm, and I am not going to fake my desire. So if I don't desire you, I'm not going to put you in a situation where I have to give myself an orgasm when we're playing. I'm like, I want to know from the beginning that we've got some sort, not that I don't mind. I don't mind finishing myself off, but I like to know that there is a connection before we start.
Yeah.
Well, literally, we were doing the math recently for the last time we played, and I think, aside from one couple that we play with pretty regularly, it's been close to a year since we've been. Oh no! See, I'm not going to start doing this. Aside from 2 situations, there was one surprising situation that we had that we ended up playing with.
Yeah.
So
But we just don't play that often.
Yeah, we did.
Social swingers are a thing, and if
Yeah.
you guys ever end up testing in boundaries, I have a feeling that you might be in that category of
social.
stimulating to be around people that are, because you can dress, Leah, you can dress in the most scantily clad, sexy outfits and fit right in, and all the girls are going to love you for it. They're not going to hate you for it. That's so fun for me to be around the girls that aren't giving me the evil eye because of how I'm dressed. They're like, where'd you get that? I want that too. Being around a bunch of women that embrace other women's sexuality is so liberating.
Yeah.
And for me, it was healing for my own self-judgment of my body, being around other women that were like appreciating me, and I was able to appreciate them despite my cellulite and my stretch marks and all the other stuff that I'm usually judging about myself. And they're like, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I am.
No, that's right.
So there are lots of fun things that aren't sex related.
Right.
So I just you don't drink though.
He drinks. He doesn't drink a ton. He just I've seen, actually the first time I saw him buzz was on a Bliss cruise.
Okay. Well, I mean, you have to. So my thought was, because I'm thinking 2 things. One, I'm like, we definitely have to have another conversation, other conversations. And 2, I would love to do maybe a never have I ever.
Oh, that'd be fun. You know what else would be fun? I want you guys to just think about this. Let it marinate. And if the answer is no, the answer is no. I totally get it. But I think it'd be really fucking fun to go to a lifestyle club with you and then hash it out afterward. Like your impressions as like a newbie person and our impressions of what happened and what the comfort was and how you like it or how you don't like it or whatever. I think that could be fun. Think about it.
Wait, what? Okay, wait, what?
Where
Say
are
one
you?
more time.
What? It's basically like they're gonna report. We're gonna give our experience.
Will we go together?
We'll
or
go
no?
together.
Yeah, we would all go together.
I'm sorry. I had tequila and very little sleep. So forgive me.
I hear you. Have you had insomnia? We can talk about this another time. I had insomnia for the past 2 nights.
Oh my God.
It's horrible. I feel like it's a moon cycle thing.
Prescott, I mean, we're just here. I know. All right. So as we're well, you two,
Yeah, this is crazy.
So
I think that'd be really fun. I think that'd be a cool podcast.
Okay, so wait, where are you located?
Yeah, where are you?
In Illinois.
We're in Chicago.
Wait, what?
Chicago,
Okay.
Illinois.
Yeah.
So there's lifestyle clubs
so funny,
there.
I was just saying I really wanted to. We haven't been to Chicago.
So if you were going to do Chicago, we don't have a great scene here, but they do have a good party on the eve of the eve. So the night before New Year's Eve with a group that we really like. But otherwise, it would be probably something that we would travel to for like a hotel takeover or something. I think I remember where you guys are from, and there are some hotel takeovers kind of near you.
Yeah. We can talk offline.
Yeah.
But I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. That would be cool. We can talk offline. I guess I have one more question before we get. Shut your mouth.
Leah, I got a whole.
So what? I don't care. You've been doing a lot of talking.
I have not.
You talk too much anyway. All right. Do you guys party? Well, you just said there's not a lot of stuff at home, so I guess I won't ask, but I guess I will anyway. Do you guys party? Do you guys play close to home or no?
We do. There are a few clubs near us, and one of them has been growing a lot. Their community has been growing. So there have been more people there that are kind of our vibe. So we will go there and they have good parties. Mm-hmm. We like the people there. But I think, like I said, our favorite experience has been with Bliss. There are some hotel takeovers.
And then down in Miami.
There are also a lot
Yeah.
of clubs that you're going to go to. You were describing some of there are some clubs you'll go to that you're going to be like, I don't want to see that. And I can't unsee that.
Yeah.
So those are the clubs that we wouldn't take you to.
Yeah.
It's surprising, where we are. We thought that, it's a big city, right? We thought, oh my gosh, there's going to be tons of stuff, a huge community in here. And it's been difficult to find. We've been very surprised at the level of some of the places, also the attendance of some of the places. And, but again, over the last couple of years, it's been growing. It's been getting better, but there are places like, I think you mentioned Texas. Well, I know that they've got a huge community, and in Florida there are a bunch
Florida's
of
huge,
horny
yeah.
fuckers down in Florida. Like there are so many clubs and everything else, and through Miami, and Tampa is what, the strip club capital of the world, I think. So depending where you are, there's usually something. Now, whether or not it's going to, do it for you, depends. But it's funny though. One of the things that you did, was there's a place that's close enough to us that we've liked, but it's kind of really hit or miss. It's been. You put together.
We liked the place, but we weren't ever inspired by the people that were there.
No, and sometimes it'd be more crowded, and sometimes it'd be just almost dead, which is kind of depressing. But you put out a what they call like a
speed date
on one of the lifestyle apps, like a what is it called? Swipe left. What a Tinder. It's like a Tinder type app that's for swingers or whatever. You put out a hot date saying, hey, we're going to go to this place on Saturday night.
If you want to meet us, come. But we're also like, message us. So we were able to kind of curate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which was awesome. We made some of our best friends in the lifestyle because we did that.
Yeah, that was great.
Not you marketing the night for the people.
Yeah, I know. I should have gotten paid, right? Yeah. Or at least gotten a fee.
Seriously. So, but since then we've done that. You've done that, and it's, for us, it's been a lot better. We've enjoyed it a lot more and made really good friends, and it's nice that when we go there, there'll be people that we know, and it's not that it's necessarily cheers, but it is nice to know that people
know us. It's nice. And people know that we're low pressure, which is also nice. And I will say, I feel like there are some people that get disappointed in the lifestyle, but those typically are the people that are more bed notchers, which is our term that we call them. If you are looking to get laid every night when you go to a club, you're going to be disappointed because you're probably not going to find the perfect match. You're probably not going to find that DTF couple that you're looking for. If you're just looking to have a good time,
to make a connection.
If the way you just said that is perfect. If you're looking for a connection, just a friendly connection, there will be potential for it to grow into something more or not. And the people that, in my opinion, the people we're looking for are the people that are not banking on penetration.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is we've gone a lot of the different clubs and everything, but we have never played at a club except with each other. Now we've met people that we have played with later. We've gone to drinks, whatever, you have to know them, and we've met a lot of really great people that way. But it's been a springboard to something later. But we've actually never done anything.
I'm not performative. I'm not, and if you are a bit of an exhibitionist and you love the idea of people watching you, this would be amazing for you.
Yeah.
I'm not. I get self-conscious if I feel like I know people are watching me. I would rather focus on the moment and enjoy the moment than think about the people that are watching me.
Yeah.
Right.
But people that love that, they're great too, because there you are, and they're happy to be in front of everybody, and that's great.
Did you just point at me?
I was just saying I'm saying that Bella and I are very much alike. But what Prescott is describing,
Don't touch me.
What?
All right. So as because we we typically do the shows like 45 minutes, but sometimes we'll go over. But I think for 100% worth it. So I have a couple of questions. I'm gonna edit some.
You have?
Okay.
I have a couple of questions.
We have.
Oh, you are me.
What is
You
it?
are me. I say that to him all the
How did
time.
it
She goes,
hit?
not we have. You
Oh,
All right. So
we'll try to be quick. I know we talk a lot.
well, no, but
We'll
it's
cut out all the
good.
words that I said because I know
no,
I
it's good, and it's full of again. I think that people just perceive
Yeah.
this as, but I think that you are showing the humane part of it. Like
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I'm just looking to. It's not about that.
Yeah.
All right. So all right. So
Show
wrap.
that everybody goes into it for different reasons,
Yeah.
right?
I
And
definitely
you can
go
make
into
it what you want it to be. Yeah, you can make it what you want.
But I think also I think that it's cool that, I mean, not that you guys are on, it's not cool that you guys are on your second marriage, but I think that it says something that you guys are on your second marriage. Like you went into this phase of your life, kind of knowing what you wanted in a partner, right? And then having some more self-discovery within this relationship, right? But you are also able to, within that self-discovery, you are also able to meet each other.
Yeah.
And I think that part is the part that's very important, right? So you're meeting each other and you're respecting each other and you're growing with each other.
Yeah.
That doesn't always happen. But anyway, I digress.
That's well said, babe.
I know.
But I think that that's actually a really good point. And I think a lot of people that we talk to in the lifestyle have that experience where we already had really good communication. But you get in the lifestyle and you better expect to communicate about your communication. You are literally communicating all the time or it's not going to work. You need to be able to feel comfortable saying, which was horrible for me, I hated admitting that I felt jealous or insecure. I really wanted to stop that because I felt weak and insecure. I hated it. But I knew when we got started in the lifestyle that that was something that had to be addressed or I was going to do some things that I was going to regret.
It was going to eat you up.
Yeah. So it works out actually really well for your relationship on the whole if you both want to be in the lifestyle, if you both are willing to do the work. You're going to do the work to make your communication even better.
You know what? I remember seeing, this is, I don't even know, 30 years ago, 40, I don't know how long ago, but I saw a documentary and they were talking about like swingers and everything. And I remember
you were going to say 40 years ago.
40 years ago? Yeah, it could have been. I was, I mean, I'm only 29. So
okay, because I was real confused, Prescott.
So I remember seeing this thing and these guys were talking, these couples were talking about how by doing this, it made their relationship stronger. And I remember calling bullshit, thinking, I remember thinking that is total bullshit. This is just trying to rationalize the fact that you want to have sex with other people. And I was like, whatever. And I totally judged it. And what I found was I'm an idiot. And it is that what I talked about before about how we had all that time before we actually were able to do anything to talk and everything else and really kind of dig in the dirt, that, it's kind of counterintuitive, but our relationship as a result of all that work we did by being in the lifestyle and talking about being in the lifestyle made our relationship stronger because we did talk about the uncomfortable, messy stuff that we kind of grazed by that we were both, holding on to and afraid to talk about. So it really did. I hate to be that guy, but here I am saying that the lifestyle has made our relationship stronger.
Well, because
I think you guys were grounded already, right? And I think that's a difference, right?
That's
I think that's a difference, right? And so I wouldn't be so hard on I wouldn't be so hard on myself if I were you. Because some people do go into it with the idea of, I just want to fuck off. And so, I'm going to say it's going to make my relationship better because if I have the carte blanche to be able to do so, then my said partner can't be mad because this is the lifestyle that we're living. You know what I mean? Whereas I'm still going to be able to be upset and have issue because you're still not being honest and you're still not communicating with me. And guess what? We still have these problems.
Right. They don't go away. They get magnified by a million.
Well, for sure. I've told Leah, and we've I feel like we've even gotten into an argument because Leah's a contrarian. So anything I say, she's just gonna
He wants
just for
me
the
to be a
sake of it.
contrarian.
But I told her, you know, some of the most honest relationships are people that have either open or poly or swingers. Like that is the most honest, right? And yeah, we did get into it because somebody else chimed in and they gave some goofy opinion. But
I don't
I
even know
think
if I
the
want to have this
assumption,
conversation.
well, the
That's all.
assumption is like don't ask, don't tell.
Oh, I do
And
not like that. That is
and I
not
said,
cool.
and I said from who I've spoken to, and because I call it like field research, that's the opposite of what happens. Like it's
Mhm.
very clear of not I'm going to the bar and you're actually going to fuck off somewhere. Like it's very specific. Now there are some couples that, you know, may not take details of like, oh, I sucked her toes and a whole deal.
Yeah.
But the basic honesty, rawness is shared. And in a regular, well, in a what is it? A monogamous relationship.
You don't know what kind of relationship you're in?
Leave.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You better know.
Don't you have to use the bathroom?
Mm-mm.
So anyway, we got into it, but I love that you said that. All right, so I
Can I
want
just
to
say
go.
really quickly though, on
Yeah.
that note, I just recently received a message from a guy saying that he was in a relationship and that she was fully aware of everything that he was doing in the lifestyle and that they had a don't ask, don't tell style relationship. And my response to him was, you're not going to make it far in the lifestyle if that's your approach. Because if there are some couples that are like, I don't agree with policing other people's relationships, and so they can do what they want. If they come to me and they want to be with me, then I'm going to be with them. That's not us, and that's not the majority of people in the lifestyle. For us, I 100%, we're never with a solo guy, never. So that's never going to happen. But if we're with a solo girl and she's married to someone else, if I don't speak to your husband and I don't see his eyes and I don't feel his words when he says, I'm good with this, I'm good with my wife going with you, then we're done. If he looks irritated by it, if I sense some annoyance, I'm out because I'm not in this to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
It's not worth it.
No, thank you. I'm here for fun. And if we're all having fun, that's great. And if we're not, let's be friends. We'll have a great time partying. I don't need any of that other stuff. But people do that, the whole don't ask, don't tell thing. And that's slimy in my book. I think it's slimy.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Oh, whatever. All right. So, all right. So these are almost like rapid fire, right?
Okay.
So is it better to meet at a vanilla party or a lifestyle event?
Lifestyle event. We never ever hit on our vanilla friends. Never. No.
Yeah, we've got a wall built between those two.
Okay. I don't know if I should just ask this or if I should give Okay, so one of the couples that I talked to, their deal is he arranges gangbangs for his wife.
Okay.
Right. And it's gangbangs and it's also cream pies.
Mhm.
And I said, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, that's, and I'm like, oh my God. Because for me, I'm thinking having sex with multiple people, protection, condoms, but like, okay. So with that being said, safe sex or open play?
Oh, safe sex, always. Yeah. And the whole cream pie thing, that doesn't happen very often in the lifestyle. In the lifestyle, most people are pretty stringent about protection. Yeah. Most people really want to be protected. Some people will ask you to show them your STI test results. There is best practice for how often you should be testing based upon how often you're playing. Personally, unless we are exclusively playing with another couple and no one else, and they are exclusively playing with us and no one else, which hasn't happened, there's always going to be protection because I'm not risking my sexual health for some fun.
No.
Yeah. No.
And I know that there have been people, like a group of people, I think it was someone told us like during COVID, there's like 4 or 5 couples and they all, decided that they're all going to be careful about exclusive about COVID. They're going to be careful about that and getting tested, but also STIs. They all made sure that they were all kind of what's the word I want to say
clear.
well, exclusive, and they're able to then, if they don't want to use protection, they're able to. I mean, there's and there's protection to be used also depending on the age of the people. For pregnancy, of course, there's that as well. But when it comes to STIs, you're going to find a lot of people that are pretty on it that are in the lifestyle.
And people are more educated than they are in the general population, knowing that if you think you've been exposed, that you should wait 4 weeks before you get tested, because it's not going to show up on a test right away. So people in the lifestyle are more educated about that stuff. Do STIs get transmitted? I'm sure that happens.
Oh, yeah.
I'm absolutely sure that happens. You're in a high risk population with people that are having sex with multiple. It's like a college campus. It's going to happen.
Right.
But they are more, people in the swinging community are more responsible than people on a college campus.
Yeah. You know what I've said to people? I think it's similar. I mean, I don't know if this is a fair equation. In my mind, it is. It's similar to, there's a stigma of porn stars as being dirty.
Yeah.
But their practices are actually cleaner than a regular chick you'll meet in a club, because.
Yep.
Why are you comparing the female and not the men?
Jeez, Louise. All right,
I love you.
All right. So this isn't so much like a how does one become informed in a lifestyle? Because there's so many different languages and almost like a whole different language in terminologies.
Yeah.
And so how do you inform yourself on that? Is it like a book you buy? Is there some online course? Like, what do you do?
You know what? There are various resources out there, but I don't feel like there are a lot of comprehensive resources, and we're all kind of striving to find that thing. I'm trying to create that through my Instagram page, but
it's very informative.
I don't even know if that's, the Flirty Swinger on Instagram, but
we offer a lot of different information. You talk about STI testing. You talk about a lot of this kind of stuff on there.
But unfortunately, there aren't a lot of great resources out there. So you literally, when we started, we didn't know anyone. And when we showed up at our first club, we were so nervous. We had no idea what was going on, which is part of why I started the Flirty Swinger page, was because if I had a mentor, if I had someone who said, I'm going to walk you through this, and then you can decide if you like it or not, I would have loved that, because I didn't know how to dress the first time we went to a club. I had no idea what to expect at all. And we have mentored several couples since then that have become very close friends, just because it's fun. It's titillating. If you are not opposed to nudity, you're probably and if you like to dance, because there's lots of dancing at sex clubs. So if you like to dance and you're not opposed to nudity, you're probably going to have a good time.
Okay, so I want to so I know some of these. Leah probably has no idea.
Maybe I do.
All right.
Maybe.
Okay, so DTF, you know what that is?
Down the fuck.
Okay, so DTF. DDD, you know what that is? You know what that is?
I'm trying to think.
Oh, you don't know? Holy shit.
No. Tell me, DDD, what is it?
Disease and drama.
Oh.
Disease and
diseases, drugs.
Drama, disease, drugs, and drama free. Yeah, DDD free. All right.
I like that one.
I do. I usually hear it as DD, disease and drug, but I like adding the drama in because
no more drama. What's the other? This is just freestyle, and I have this written down. What's another one? NSA,
MFM,
MMF. You know what that is? Male, female.
Yeah.
Or F.
So, the arrangement of the letters makes a difference too. So if it's MFM, the female is the center. Both guys are with the female. If it's MMF, the guy in the middle is bi. So he's with the girl.
Oh.
If it's MFFM, the two girls are together. The guys are just with the girls on the outside. If it's MFMF, then it's a swappy kind of situation. So it matters. The order.
Holy shit. Okay, the more you know. So taking it back to NBC with the peacock when they used to be. All right. NSA, you know what that, we all know what that is.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Keep going.
All right. Anyway, I'll skip that. All right. So one of the things I had different terms, and I wanted to just kind of see if so monogamy, obviously, but there's ethical non-monogamy,
Mhm.
which I researched is consensual non-monogamy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
And some people have a problem with that term because they're like, of course it's ethical because everyone is choosing it. They don't feel like ethical should be a part of it. They like consensual better. So I feel like right now consensual non-monogamy is a more popular term than ethical non-monogamy, but some people use non-monogamy.
And so in the poly world, so there's polyamorous, and then there's hierarchical
Mm-hmm.
polyamorous, which is primary partnership.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be us two is the focus, and then so is that what you two would be considered?
No, we are not polyamorous at all.
Yeah.
I will share his cock. I will not share his heart. No one else can have that. That's mine. So we are not in the polyamory world at all.
Okay. And so because I do have swinging for so hierarchical poly, then you have kitchen table poly,
Mm-hmm.
which is family style, may not be romantic. That's just like for the connection, right?
Well, the kitchen table is more like if you have a polyamorous relationship where there's like one guy and two girls and everyone can just sit down. And so sometimes with polyamory, if we were polyamorous, I could love Prescott and I could love this other guy who doesn't live with us and who's totally separate from us. If we have kitchen table polyamory, this other guy that I love would also be open to hanging out, having dinner with me and Prescott, and we'd all be able to hang out together.
I see. Okay.
And then there's another one that's like a
type of love. I'm sorry.
She said Will and Jada type of love. Jesus.
So
Yeah.
where Will Smith's ex-wife was living in the house with them, and they were all able to get along, right?
Yes.
I mean, not that I mean, at some point they banged, and maybe they were still banging.
right. Yeah.
When did you start using bang?
I use that term too, just because Instagram restricts everything. So I like it.
They don't
There's also
restrict bang?
triad. No, I can say bang, but there are a lot of other words you can't say. So I do say bang a lot on there.
What was the other one?
Triad?
Triad.
If you have there are a lot of people that ask questions on Instagram about this. If it's like husband, wife on the bottom two corners of the triangle, but the wife has a relationship with another girl. She is romantically involved with this girl up here, but the husband's not. He's fucking the girl, but he's not romantically involved with the girl. So then it becomes this kind of triangle relationship where the wife is romantically involved with both, but the husband is just physically involved with both. Or maybe the husband's not involved at all with anyone besides his wife.
Interesting.
There are so many different definitions. And guys, if you dig more into this, everyone has a different definition of all of the different categories of open relationships. So like polyamory actually is not swinging at all. It's a totally different segment.
Different. Yeah. And then friends with benefits, that's a different category, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not like okay.
What is a whole different? All right.
Yeah, but how do you compare? I don't understand.
How do you compare friends with benefits?
Yeah.
Because it's separate. I think
it is separate. That's my point. How do you compare that?
But it's a term to describe.
It is a term to describe.
That was like the old school term. That's what everyone just said, friends with benefits.
Yeah.
But then it started being, Okay. All right. And so I think that was it because I had something I got from the page. Is there really such a thing as a mini swinger bag? Is that a real thing?
Mini swinger bang?
No, not bag. Well, that too. But a mini swinger bag.
Oh, bag. Oh, swinger bag, not a mini swinger bag. I called it a mini swinger bag because people actually have big swinger bags that they pack all their stuff in. But the mini swinger bag that we put together is just the quick essentials that you should bring with just in case. Which they are. We sadly pack that bag and bring it with us every time just in case, and we almost never use it.
What is inside the mini? What is inside the swinger bag?
Listerine.
Mind yours.
Yes, that is one of them, but not Listerine. No, it can't be Listerine because Listerine doesn't work very well.
What do you mean?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Maybe
you use
that's
the
from your
oral thing.
history. Yeah, I don't like it. Doesn't make my breath good. I
we
don't like
we
it.
figured out that TheraBreath works for us better. That's all.
Yeah.
So we use that one. We use TheraBreath, but
But
Okay,
you
also
put
let's
in
tell the people what's inside.
you put
I'm
in
sorry.
condoms. So condoms, we talked about before, they suck. They don't feel great. I don't love them, but there are some nice special condoms that actually feel a little better that if you get into the swinging lifestyle, you want to know about because it actually feels a little bit more like sex. So you put in your good condoms, you put in the lube that you like. My skin is sensitive. I don't want to use some random lube that someone bought at a drugstore. It's probably going to
Astroglide.
be 2 days. Like, no, I'm not using any of that. I have my own special lube that I like to bring. So we put our toothbrush, we put our toothpaste, we put a tongue scraper. We have a card that we bring with when we go on the cruise that says not our like actual name and address or anything, but it says like our swinger profiles names so they can find us afterward because you're going to meet people. If you go to a hotel takeover or if you go on a cruise, you're going to meet a ton of people that you're going to think back and think, man, I should have hung out with them more. Those people are really cool.
it's like a business card.
Yeah. So you create a business card, collect your business cards. We put that in our swinger bag.
And it says like, that she's bi, I'm straight. It says it's kind of some basic information. So you can kind of remember that person and see if you want to follow up with them.
I'm all about hygiene. So I always put some hygiene wipes in my bag, but I would prefer just like a wash rag with nothing on it. So I bring a wash rag too, so I can wet it because I want to clean up in between. Also, like, that's just good practice. If you ever
I know.
just please clean yourself first.
Yeah.
Because if we're all dancing all night, I don't actually want to be with you like immediately after that, unless we've all cleaned ourselves
or
up.
jump in the pool.
Yeah.
Jump in the pool.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all right. So the very last thing is a very quick game. Very, very quick. So first date, go to escape room or candlelight dinner.
First date?
Yeah.
Escape room.
I'd do candlelight.
Would you? Yeah. For a first date with the swingers?
Like with another couple
Just
or something?
Just you two.
Oh, just us two? Candlelight dinner.
Oh, for us.
Candlelight dinner, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Taboo or never have I ever?
I don't think I know what it means.
No, the game. The game.
Taboo.
Oh. I like games, so I can't pick. All of the above.
Yes.
All the above.
Okay. Wine tasting or bar crawl?
Wine
tasting.
Okay. Porn on a phone or porn on a computer?
On a phone. It's just more portable.
Exactly. Tequila or vodka?
Oh, that's a tough choice. Those are two of my favorites. Tonight it was vodka, but I would choose either of those, and you would choose. What would you choose?
Vodka.
Okay.
Whipped cream or ice cream?
Whipped cream.
Ice cream with whipped cream. How's that?
Okay, that works. All right, and the last one, Blue Chew or Climax Delay Spray?
What was the first one? I didn't hear the first one.
Blue Chew. You know the Blue Chew, the pills?
Okay, all right.
Wait, which one?
I would say. I would say.
What was the second one?
Blue Chew.
Yeah, what was the second one? I'm sorry.
The second one was the Climax Delay Spray. Or they have white.
Yeah.
He's always been. He could last forever. Like,
so I guess the Blue Chew.
Yeah.
The Blue Chew. You can't beat the Blue Chew.
No. Wait, what about you guys? I need to hear these answers for you too.
All right, so escape room or candlelight dinner?
I'll go with candlelight.
I mean, I guess. So candlelight dinner. Taboo or never have I ever?
It really depends on the night. So I'm very competitive. So taboo means that we're with other people.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I'll with other people. Never have I ever will leave for a...
You have to be with specific kind of people.
Yeah, it depends on who you're with. I agree.
Yeah, you can't just play that with you. So in the terms that we've been using, you can't play never have I ever with vanilla people. It's not going to work.
But never
Wait,
have
so
I
if we
ever.
get
I enjoy
together,
that.
if we hang out sometime, we're doing never have I ever. Because
No.
I
Never
want
have I ever
to
is
do
good.
it.
All right, wine tasting or bar crawl.
Bar crawl.
Bar crawl would be more, yeah.
It's fun.
Porn on a phone or computer.
Phone.
Phone, yeah. Well, wait, what?
Phone.
Portable.
Tequila or vodka.
Tequila.
Agreed. Tequila. This is so Blue Chew or Climax Delay Spray.
Neither.
Of course, you say neither.
Mm-hmm. But what do you prefer?
I say Blue Chew.
Okay.
Blue Chew's that's mean, yo. Like it.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you know.
I don't.
You knew. Well,
I don't.
I will say that play dates in the lifestyle tend to last a while. It tends to be like, it's not mission oriented. It's not goal oriented. It's more like, let's enjoy the ride. Let's have some fun. So there are some intermissions. Mm-hmm. So I would say it's more of a Blue Chew game.
I saw your post where you said it was something. I feel like, was it a Band-Aid on a bed? It was like how I am after something.
When we meet a couple that we really vibe with, it is literally like a 3-4 hour thing and it's not because we're trying to be marathon fuckers or something. It's more like we're just having a great time. And I'm not even joking. It's so not what you would think. A lot of the time is spent laughing and just doing silly stuff with each other in between the actual like sensual, intimate stuff. It's literally just a lot of it's like adult fun.
Yeah, at least for us,
the intimacy, right? Yeah. You're creating the intimacy without being intimate.
Yeah. At least for us, at least we like that for us. And some people are the opposite. You know, some people want to get in and get out.
And want to get in and get out. Yeah.
We haven't encountered a lot of people like that. So most of the time, what we'll say if we're at someone's house that we really, really like, or we're at a hotel with someone we really, really like, we'll be like, we lose track of time. Don't you fret about kicking us out. Yeah. If you're ready for us to leave, you just start brushing your teeth and we know it's time to exit.
Oh, so you would be perfect in that because Leah gets lost in time.
I just like to have a good time.
Same. Yeah. Hours can go by and I'm like, it feels like it's been a half hour. And I'm like, how did this happen? And I couldn't even tell you what I did for those 4 hours, but it's gone. And I can tell you I had a great time.
Yeah.
So you know what? This sounds like a typical night when Leah's out. So when you get off the phone, me and Leah are going to have a nice long chat because it sounds pretty. Yeah. Anyway. So last question, whipped cream or ice cream?
So, are we talking about like what I enjoy, like eating by myself or an intimate play?
Intimate.
Oh, intimate play.
So whipped cream.
Sorry,
I have to ask these clarifying questions.
Yeah,
when I don't understand things, I need to be very clear on things because he likes to just throw stuff out there without specification, and I need it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, so now
I'll have to amend my answer then. I'm going to go with whipped cream. Ice cream is a little messy.
But I feel like whipped cream's messy too. You got
to get it fast.
You got to get yeah. Goes down fast. No brain freeze with whipped cream. So.
Oh yeah, that would change something. Yeah. All right. So no. Okay. So so this will absolutely be another part, and the challenge I think I accept, and I think Leah accepts. Mm-hmm. So we have to figure that out. And then if you can tell the good people how to find you, how to follow, and all the good things, and if you have the flirty swinger word of the day or advice of the day.
Oh my goodness.
No pressure.
You can find us on the Flirty Swinger on Instagram. We also have a couple of other socials that are not doing as well. But it's all the Flirty Swinger or the Flirty Swingers. Our podcast is the Flirty Swingers. On YouTube, we are the Flirty Swingers with an S.
We're on all the whatever podcasts and stuff. You can find us on
on all the
YouTube,
streaming
also
platforms.
Spotify, yeah, all Spotify, all that stuff. Yeah, that's the way to say it. All the streaming. You guys have done this before. You guys know what you're talking about. So thank you.
What is your biggest word of advice?
Biggest word of advice?
Or your biggest takeaway?
I mean, I hate to. This sounds. But you know what? I think it really is all about communication. That's the word of the day for me. When it comes to anyone who's considering it, someone who's intermediate, and people who have been doing it a while already know that it's all about communication.
Well, it's all about that primary relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of our good friends in the lifestyle kind of helped us with this. They called it a big game. They're like, we get our love, we get our intimacy at home with each other. That need is already met. We're not going to the lifestyle for this. The lifestyle is a game. It is a sex game. It is intimacy on a totally different level. And we completely agree with that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, communication is key. And also it's just a fun game.
So I kind of think like I understand. Okay. So here's the thing. Don't get mad.
We were closing.
I know, but don't get mad. Okay.
Who does that?
All the time. Why are you surprised? Okay. In my mind, right? In my mind, I feel like at home, there's so much pressure because there's so much responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so outside of home, now doesn't mean that home is only pressure and responsibility, because there could be fun there too as well, right? Because there's love and there's fun, there's good times, there are memories that are being created. It's not all just a disaster. It's not a disaster, right? But I think that sometimes in my mind, I think maybe in real life, maybe in make believe, I don't know, right?
Oh my God.
Cheers.
Okay, I'll drink the water.
We were closing, Dave.
I know, but I think this is really important.
All right.
Okay, so in my mind, sometimes for fake, right, I believe that some individuals feel like they need a toy, right? Like a human toy outside of home, because it's just, there's no pressure, right? And there's just no pressure. And
it feels risky, though. When you think about it that way, it feels risky because you feel like that person would be connecting with someone else without all the real life pressures. And and then the risk for them falling for that person is huge, which is partly why we insulate. Well, I don't know if that's partly why, but it might be partly my motivation in insulating our relationship and only doing these things together. I only desire it together.
Yeah.
But honestly, those stressors at home, this lifestyle, we have 4 kids. And just this whole life that you're talking about, the stressors that we have at home, you don't see that on my Flirty Swinger page. No. I'm not posting about that, but that's what's happening. Yeah. That's real because it's life. But it's happening. But then the swinger lifestyle and the open-mindedness and the acceptance and the fact that every single time we go to a swinger party, we are embraced with open arms. People love us and it fills our cup. We look forward to it. And if something is off in our relationship before we go to a swinger event, we're not canceling the swinger event. We're working on ourselves so that we can go to the swinger event, because we both know that we need to be solid. I'm not walking into any swinger event if we're not 100%. I'm not doing
it. That's very important.
It motivates you to keep your stuff on track in your relationship, because you're both looking forward to going to this place where, we have 4 kids at home and we love our 4 kids. But they're not here tonight. Tonight, it's just us. It's just flirty, playful fun with other flirty, playful people that doesn't have any attachment. It doesn't mean anything. And we're going to go home to our loving relationship afterwards.
Right.
And you know, there's a saying like hotel sex, right? Like
Oh
people,
yeah, we know that very well.
yeah, or vacation sex, right?
Oh, we know that very well.
Right, and because you have the stressors at home, you leave there, and things change. The dynamic can change, and it could be more sexy and everything else.
You know that.
What I was going to say was the lifestyle events. That's kind of the way you described it, that way, where we leave that stuff, we go to the event and everything, and we can experience that. We don't have to go off with somebody else to experience that. I want to experience that with you. I want to feel, feel the lift of dropping off all of those pressures and everything at home and going out and having fun, whether it's a takeover or a cruise or just a night out at a club or something. We can enjoy that together and have that same vibe and that same kind of lift of our spirits and everything.
And we
Without
and
necessarily without necessarily. Sorry.
Go ahead. We're gonna actually choose.
I was just like adding to Prescott's what he was saying. Like he can create that same energy without necessarily being with anyone else.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like he's creating that vibe. Yeah.
For sure.
And we have literally said so many times when we arrive at events like a hotel takeover or the Bliss Cruise, you hear the music outside, like my chest, like I feel tingles in my chest. It's literally like a kid on Christmas Eve. You get to relive that energy that you probably haven't felt since you were a kid, because it's so liberating.
It's free.
It's freeing, and you don't have to choose. One of the things that I was thinking about, even in terms of you guys, we met 4 other couples one night, like within the past 6 months. Somebody else had organized it. And one of the couples there wasn't comfortable with doing very much at all. And so they suggested a game where you would, I don't remember how it went.
It was like a round robin. You had to say something and then kiss somebody. And so it was an icebreaker. All of us was an icebreaker.
So, but you choose someone to kiss next. And then that person would talk about whatever the question was. And then they would kiss someone else. And there was one couple that the girl said, I don't feel comfortable kissing. I'll play, but I don't feel comfortable kissing. No judgment whatsoever. We modified the game so that she would feel comfortable. And that's the blessing of the lifestyle. If you're with decent people, which most people in the lifestyle are, you're going to go home feeling satisfied within your boundaries, whatever your boundaries are, which is amazing. Some people are going to be DTF. They're going to be over there banging. Some people are going to be flirting. Some people are not going to do anything at all. And everyone's going to go home happy most of the time.
Hopefully, yeah.
Most of the time.
That's the goal. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why else are you doing it unless it's
the
fun?
goal? The goal is to leave happy. That's what I'm telling you, Leah.
Yep.
We all like happy endings.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We do.
Nice.
And you get your happy
Nice job.
ending. Even sometimes it's in the car in the parking lot
Yes.
at the sex club,
Yeah,
and
right.
sometimes it's when you get home.
Well, the car. I mean, so I'll save that for the. I mean, the car. I think the car is just undervalued.
I agree.
I mean, yeah.
That's one of those spontaneous desire. You just cannot wait. You got to do it now. Hot situations.
Yeah.
Leah has a bunch of thought bubbles happening right now.
None.
Yes, you do. All right. So thank you so much. And this is our longest episode that we have ever done.
Yeah.
And typically what I would do is like cut it out and do it like
you can do that.
Part 2. But I don't. I actually like the conversation. I don't want to cut it out.
It's 2 hours.
Wow, is it really?
You might have to set some of it out.
So we basically just did what you talked about when you're like vibing with a couple and just
we could keep you guys on the phone for another 2 hours easy.
See how this happens naturally?
Oh my God.
That?
All right.
Yeah, whatever you need to do. If you need to split it, whatever is cool.
We
appreciate it. But
she's being fresh.
Oh
yeah. We have to have adult ministry time now because clearly she's I'm
on the tequilas.
Yeah. So anyway, so thank you so much. And again, I hope that this was the point of us starting this show to be informative but also entertaining. And I just appreciate the humanity and the love and the genuineness that you have brought to this conversation,
Mm.
because there's so much judgment and stigmas of people that either are afraid or they're a little interested and they're ashamed to say that they're interested. So hopefully this conversation is done in a way that is not intimidating and people can learn from. And I believe that that will happen. So thank you so much.
Thank you
And
for having us. We had a great time. I'm not joking. We could keep going.
because I know that the
We'll get
conversation,
together again. So
because it was a lot of, because people could be judgmental, right? And so a lot of the back and forth conversation between us was, what are you trying to gain from this conversation, right? And so, and which I appreciate from you, because no one wants to feel like a freak show and a circus pony, right? So I just wanted to talk as two people in relationships, and just, why are you looking at me? So,
I'm listening.
you look like you want to eat me alive.
Maybe she
maybe
does.
she does. Maybe you
right,
guys
yeah.
have some plans for later.
Yeah, baby. All right. So thank you so much. So again, the Flirty Swinger. So on Instagram, the Flirty Swinger, no S. And then on YouTube, it's the Flirty Swingers with an S.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And all the podcast locations. It's
all streaming platforms.
Yes.
Yes.
Streaming platforms. Thank you.
And the last statement is anyone that has further questions. I don't know if you would consider yourself experts, but you're definitely more knowledgeable than we are. So I implore everyone, if there are questions or if there's a perspective that you want to kind of throw out and see what you think, please feel free to send them a message, because they love that. It's on their profile of, ask us a question. I will say your page is chock full of information. And it's done in a way where people don't feel like they're in class, right? And so it's very fun. Yeah. And I'm sure Leah is going to be looking at it tonight after we have our adult ministry.
Well, thank you again.
I want to hear. I want to hear more about your adult ministry.
Yes.
So thank you so much, and have a nice night. And we will talk soon for sure. I'm going to send you a message with some information, because I want to try to figure out the other stuff.
Great.
Thanks for busting our cherry on this. This is our first time being on another podcast, and it was really fun. We had a great time. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Wedlocked and loaded.
Wedlocked and loaded.